this is the stamp set that I used in my Facebook Live on July 3rd. It's available in the mini catalog that's live now, and during July and August, that was the 1-2 that I was giving you. I was letting you know that you can earn free celebration products, and that's where I got these dies. They are tree lot dies that coordinate with the Trees for Sale stamp set. And here's the catalog. I'm just showing you the cover of the catalog, and it runs the 1st of July till the end of August. And there's some exclusive products in there, and this is the brochure. So this is the stamp set. There's quite a few of them. I'm not going to lie, there is one stamp or two, or die I should say. I have no idea what they are. And this is where I'm just showing you all the dies. This is on the Stampin' Up website. And then back to the stamp, and look how cute that dog is. Trees for Sale sign. This is kind of a 2-stamp process where you stamp one tree and then you'll stamp the inside, and that's what I'm going to show with you. I'm going to show the card. So this is real red cardstock, and I'm just folding it, getting my bone folder and pressing down that crease. Yes, I do like a nice crisp crease for my cards. Let's just set, let me set that aside now. So, and here's some basic white. This is what I'm going to be stamping on the basic white. I do like this basic white. Here's some real red, garden green, and pear pizzazz. So these are the 3 colors. Well, I'll bring in 2 more colors, but mainly these are the 3 colors that I will be using. I do like this traditional color palette for Christmas. I'm more of the traditional colors, so these would be my 3 go-to ink pads that I would choose if I'm making a holiday card. So there's real red. I don't think I'm going to use it right now, so I'm going to just set that aside, and I will be using the greens to stamp the trees. Here I'm showing the 2 stamps. So this is photopolymer, so they are clear stamps, and I'm just demonstrating, like, you'll stamp, you know, one and then you'll stamp the other, and I'm going to show you that. I'll be demonstrating that here. Let's see, I'm trying to decide which color. I will use Pear Pizzazz first. Now what I'm going to do, and you'll see, is I'm going to be doing what I call 2nd generation stamp. I couldn't remember the name of this ink, so I was trying to read it. What's this color called? It's Pear Pizzazz. So I'm inking up my stamp, and I'm saying before I stamp it, I'm going to stamp off onto my grid paper, just like so. I'm going to pull it up, and I will stamp directly on the cardstock that I will be using on my card. And there it is. And it was a little blotchy, so I missed a spot. So that's when I remember to bring in my piercing mat. So here's my piercing mat. When you are using photopolymer, you do want to have a little cushion when you're stamping. It gives a better stamp image. Pulling in some scratch paper on the side there because I will be stamping off. So let me just stamp one tree there. And as you can see, I'm kind of stamping it off the edge of the card. And there's that. So that's the first stamp. So the second one, I'm coming in, and I'm just going to set same ink, and this time I'm not stamping off, and I'm going to stamp directly on the first tree that I stamped. Rub it. And there it goes. So it gives a little texture, and I'm going to do it one more time, just like that. Beautiful. That's one thing I like about 2 stamping, and oh man, don't look at that stamp chamois. It is dirty, but it still works, and it's time for me to get a new one. All right, I'm going to close up this ink pad because open ink pad likes to find my fingers and hands. Yes, it does. Here's some garden green now. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be stamping 2 trees, and the first time I'm going to stamp the larger tree is the 2nd generation stamp, I guess you would call it. So I'm stamping one off. I'm going to pull it up, and I said, you know, it's okay, I'm going to overlap on this tree, but you won't even be able to tell because I am coming in with a darker green. So I am stamping just a little over it, and you'll see, and just do a little massage. I like to massage my stamp pad, or my stamping block when I get it on there. I don't like to rock my stamp, so that's why I do a little massage technique. And here's the stamp again, pulling this one in and putting in all the little leaves, give a little texture. So beautiful, so beautiful. Okay, and there we go. So there's 4 trees. I'm going to set that stamp there, and I'll set that stamp there so you can see the stamps. Oh, don't forget, close your ink pad. Do not want to get my fingers in those ink pads. The next thing that I'm going to be doing, I believe, oh, okay. So this is early espresso. I am bringing this in. This is what I'll be stamping, the stamps that I'll be die cutting with the those dies that I showed you earlier in the beginning of the video. So what I'll be doing here is stamping all the pieces that I'll be die cutting. And so this time with the dog, instead of stamping on the grid paper, because I do want to make it a 2nd generation stamp, I'm going to stamp it on my basic white cardstock right there, and I'm going to stamp it, you know, once, and then I'm going to stamp it again. So you'll see. And the reason I'm doing this is in case I want to, you know, die cut the darker dog, you know, just like that. So if I want to die cut that, I can. But for this card, you'll see I'll be doing the lighter image. Yep, that one right there, the one that I'm tapping to. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, set that dog aside. Still using espresso, early espresso, and this time I'll be stamping, I believe, the pole for the lights. Let me line that up a little bit better. And I'm going to do the same thing. It does kind of bend a little bit, so that's why I kind of pulled it up and repositioned it because it was a little crooked. But so I'm going to be doing this. Now when I am stamping, I want to make sure that I have enough room to die cut. So, you know, I don't want to be too close to the edge. So you can see right there, you got, you know, the first stamp and then the 2nd generation stamp. You need 2 poles to hold up the lights. So I'm going to do this step again. And that one, I'm like, woo, that one's close to the edge of the bottom there, but actually it's fine. I can die cut it a little later. And that side, so I'm cleaning that because I'm going to be using this block, clear block again. I only have one of this size block. I need to get another one. So I couldn't decide, do I want to use the early espresso? And then I thought, no, I'm going to come in with Memento ink because I'm going to be using some blends. Although it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be barely coloring the light bulbs with the blends. So I could have used espresso ink. But for this card, I went with Memento Tuxedo Black. And I don't know what I'm talking right there, but I'm waving over like I'm just kind of, you know, sending some well wishes to that stamp. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out how, like, where I'm going to stamp this to be able to also die cut. So I think that's good right there. And now that I'm thinking about it as I'm re-watching this video, you'll see I don't even die cut any of these out. So I have no idea if I stamp too close or if I stamp too like close to the edge. But you know, hey, if I did, I'll just turn it over. That's one thing I like about, you know, stamping. If you make a mistake, you just turn over the paper and stamp again. Here is the cute little sign, trees for sale. I just love this stamp. So I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to stamp twice. I want to make sure that there's going to be enough room for me to die cut. So again, like the photopolymer, what I like to, you can see if you have enough ink or not. So I'm going to stamp once, and I'm going to stamp a 2nd time. And that's it. So that's all the images that I'll be die cutting. And so I just do it all. And so so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, you know, how I adhere, I guess, the dies to the cardstock before I run it through. So I'm going to pull out all these dies. Like I said, there's a lot of them. That's the light bulbs. That die, I got to figure out, okay, which way to go. There's the pole. You can see you're going to need something to hold down because they'll just turn, twist, they'll slide off. So right now I'm just kind of making sure that there's enough room for the dies. And oh, actually, I'm surprised, even though I don't die cut it, but you can see here that there's going to be plenty of room. So here's the washi tape that I use. I just use washi tape. before I put it down, I do try to get some of the tack off. I usually like put it on my t-shirt or my jeans, but for this video purposes, I'm using my fingers. So I'm just kind of lining up, making sure that that dye's in place, just putting a little washi down. I'm not gonna lie, I do say it a lot, but anyways, the dye for the light bulbs, it doesn't line up that real. But anyway, so that's how you do it. And I went boom, boom, here's my magic box. Bam, look, I just die cut them all just so quick. So here's all the pieces that I'll be using for the card. And I'm going to be done with this box, and I better close this ink pad before I put my hand in it. So let me just close that, set that aside. Move my washi out of the way. Okay, I'm done with this box. Thank you. Put that away. Okay, so now here are all the die pieces. Now I'm going to bring in the stamped image, the card stock that I'll be putting on my card, and going to try to, you know, figure out where I'm going to put the pieces before I actually adhere them to the card base. And I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something. Oh, yes. Okay. I remember there was one more stamp that I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit later. And it's the cutest little stamp of the stamp set. So I'm going to be using Pool Party. So I just have that open, but I better move it because I'm going to stick my hand. I'm going to put my hand right there. You can see, oh, it's going to go. Ooh, Stephanie, you better move that ink pad because you are going to put your arm in it. You know, you are. So be very careful. I think I move it. I think I realize, like, oh, it's in my way. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was close. Like, my arm could have just sat right down on that ink right there. Again, that's why I do not like having open ink pads if I'm not going to be using it right away. So right now, that's what I was doing. I was deciding on what sentiment to use because I did make this card ahead of time to practice, and I couldn't decide, like, do I want to use the same sentiment that I did the first card I made, and I decided yes. So I'm using So Very Merry, and this is real red ink. So I am just stamping So Very Merry, washing off my stamp because anytime you're using red ink with photopolymer, it is going to stain your ink, your stamps. But don't worry, they're still good. They still work. But it's just something with that red dye likes to dye those photopolymer stamps. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where to put all my little pieces. Oh, but first I said, you know what, let me color the light bulbs. So I'm deciding what alcohol markers I want to use. So that's why I'm taking a little while. I'm out of frame for a little bit, but look how cute that little dog is. Are we not kidding me? It's too cute. Okay, so I'm going to be using, this is, I think, Mango Melody, Real Red, and this is shaded Spruce. Stampin' Up! Does not have a garden green stamping blend, so I'm just using a bright green, which is shaded Spruce. With the Real Red, I'm going to be coloring every other light bulb, and you'll see later at the end of when I'm finishing my card, I'll be adding some rhinestones to those red ones. And then for the green, I'm just going to color 2 of them. And then I just didn't want it to be like green, red, you know, so I decided to color 1 yellow. I don't know why. I just thought, you know, make it colorful, make all the lights colorful. But that's it. So now I need to figure out, you know, where I'm going to place. And don't worry, on the side of my thumb is that red ink. It is not blood. Because, you know, I like to tell myself, I give myself a little nickname, Inky Fingers, when I am making cards. So here I'm trying to put some glue on this little piece. Let me clean that out and get that off my fingers. And I'm having a little hard time. The glue is just not coming out. Okay, tap, 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 tap. I think I got some glue. And then you'll see, like, wait, how do I pick this up? Okay, let me get some tweezers. Ah, there we go. I love those tweezers. And I'm just going to set this one down right there. And then let me move those little guys out of the way. Now I'm kind of lining up to see where where am I going to adhere the second pull. Oh, it's leaning a little bit there. Oh, okay. So this time I decided not to use the tweezers because, you know, that was such a good tool to use. I thought, nah, I'm just going to still use my fingers. And then, oh, there we go. See, now I'm like, yeah, you better move that stamp pad out of the way or your arm is going to go into it. So thankfully, by then I moved it. And I did not put my arm or hand into that pool party ink pad. So here I'm trying to hold this and put a little glue, just adding kind of a little glue just at where the light bulbs are. I'm going to put this down. I didn't want it straight across, so I kind of like pull it down a little bit, like one on the left is a little higher than the right, and I did that on purpose, you know, because they're hanging. And in my first card, I just glue that down, but then I decide, you know what would be better? Let me get some Stampin' Dimensionals. I love some Stampin' Dimensionals. So here I'm just going to get the 2 of the normal size, or that's not normal, right? The regular size. The regular size dimensionals for the sign, and get those little sucker backings off. They're not always easy, and I always find one somewhere later, maybe stuck to my arm or something. It's gonna, no, I'm like, wait a minute, where's the dog gonna go? Okay, kind of figuring it out. Okay, that's good there. It kind of got stuck, so I just said that's a good place. All right, here's this cute little stamp. Oh my gosh, I just love this stamp. So since this is supposed to be kind of snow, I guess, my foreground is snow, I'm using Pool Party to kind of give, you know, I don't know, a little shadow shade for snow. And there we are, little paw prints. Oh my gosh, how cute. How cute. Oh my god, too cute. So I just did the paw prints. I'm going to close that ink up before I put my arm in it. And next I will be adhering, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pop him up too. Yes, this time I'm going to use both the regular size and the mini size. All right, so I'm going to take just one, I'm going to put it on his body, but I put a little low, and later you'll see. Oh, I just noticed, okay, so forget it, let's just go with it. And I'm going to put one of the little minis on his head, and then I didn't want to cut the little mini for his tail, so I'm just going to put it at his feet, and I'm going to take the backing off, get those out of the way, and then get that out of the way. And here I'm going to take the backings off. Let's see, I can't, come on, get it, I can't quite, oh man, sometimes they are so hard to get off. And there we go. And I still notice, and you'll see later, that dog is just bothering me. So now I'm ready to adhere it. So I'm just going to take my multi-purpose glue and put a lot of glue around the edges, but not like a lot, but a lot, right? Not a lot, but a lot. It's a thin layer. And now it's okay, putting that down. I did make this basic white about, there's a quarter, half an inch all the way around. Okay, I'm like, I do not like that dog. That dimensional is just too large, so let me get my scissors and cut some of that dimensional off. I don't quite cut it in half, but I cut off a little bit. Let me just set those aside. Put that little dimensional back. All right, I feel so much better because now I can't see that dimensional coming from the belly of that dog. Now the last thing that I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to add these amazing shiny bling 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 red rhinestone enamels. I'm taking my pick a tool, I think it's called pick a tool, and I just love using it to pick up the enamels. It just makes it so much easy just to grab it. But you do, if you can see, like I kind of slide it. Like I put the gummy part on it and then I slide the enamel off rather than just pick it up, because you may not pick up the adhesive part. So a little tip when using this tool pick is that you press down and then slide it off, if you got it. Okay, So I put a lot of dimensionals or a lot of rhinestones on this card because, who doesn't like a bling? I'm just telling you that you get a lot. You get a lot of these red rhinestones. Oh wow, look how cute, so very merry. Now I do not do the inside of the card of this video, but what I will do is inside I'm going to stamp Christmas, I think. So very merry, maybe Merry Christmas or something. I'm not sure yet. But I will stamp something inside the card. I'll add the basic white, the same dimension, like the same size of the basic white on the top of this card. I will put it right here, right there. Yep, right there. I'll put it right there. So that's the card using Trees for Sale stamp set. Just so cute. I just love the stamp set. All right, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this card. And it's Christmas in July. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.